if you guys can see this, hopefully it's in focus. This is the feature that I was trying to create. This little, I'm gonna get closer to you. Ooh, see that? So it's like a little breakfast nook, except for mine is the opposite way, right? Mine is going the opposite way. But on the other side of this are more windows going in the opposite direction. And so I certainly could add that, or I could put a little fireplace in there, whatever. But I'm gonna go, I think, with windows. So if that's the case, right, I'm gonna move this off to the side. If you can see the little sparklies, by the way, that's Christmas lights I have hanging over my work table. So there are not fairies in here. There are Christmas lights hanging above my workstation. So in order to figure out where these windows would actually start height-wise, I want to continue with the height of this window, like the bottom edge of it, all the way to the corner, because then I can use that to line up the bottom edge of the windows on the back side of the house. One of the things I really liked a lot about a lot of the houses that I saw was the fact that there was a lot of windows, because if it's a tiny house, you're going to feel like you have more space if it's wide open. So then this one's going to do the same thing. It's going to go down to this corner right here, and I'm going to use that same exact edge to find this window. Now, yeah, you're not going to see that top edge, but I've drawn it because if I'm going to make panes and whatnot, I need to know kind of where things end. And in order to make these look like they're going back in space, like these, right? So see how these are actually getting slightly smaller as they go away from us. There's a formula for that, and I can show you what that is. But in order to use that formula, you need both edges, even if they're not going to show in the final drawing, like this one up here. So the other thing you need to determine is where is the back corner of this house. So because, you know, you don't want your windows going past where the wall would actually end. So what I've got to do is figure out where that back corner of the house is. So I can do that just like you did when you drew your little boxes in the exercises. When it's something like this, that's probably not going to show later, I make it dotted, so that helps me know that I'm going to erase that line later. So where they cross is the back corner of the house. Oops. You want to be really precise with this. Otherwise, things will start to look wacky and you won't know why. And I'm not going to... Yeah, that's right there. So this right here is the back corner of the house. So I know that my windows have to end there at the very least, which they're going to probably end before that because they aren't going to go right up to the corner of the house. So that is the back corner right there. And so my windows, right, have to go somewhere in this space. And obviously, I'm not going to see this corner because it's on the underside of the countertop, like so. All right, like that. So if I decide that my first window is going to be somewhere around in here so I can see a little bit of the corner of the room, remember I want to go all the way to this top line. Like that. And then I'm going to draw my first window. I like these windows with the 3 small panes on the top and the big panes on the bottom, so I may copy that just because it's kind of nice. So I'm going to make my first window, right? And then you're like, well, okay, great. How am I going to get past that? You're going to do just like you did when you found the center of this side. You're going to connect to the corners to find the middle of the window pane. Sorry, I've got 5 million straight edges for different lengths of things that I need because I don't have a very big space. And then you're going to take the center of the window. I don't know if you guys can even see what I'm doing. I might have to zoom in with my fancy camera. You're going to take the center of this window, right? And you're going to go from the top through the center line to the next place, and that's how small the next window is going to be. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, but let me get the camera a little closer for you. So, right? So I'm hand holding it right now. I'm sorry, it's a little wobbly. Let's see if I can pause. Okay, so I've gotten the camera a little closer. Sorry, it's a little wonky, but I wanted you to be able to see what I was doing in here. So I did an X through my window. I went from the center of the X back to the vanishing point. And now I'm going to go from the top of the first structure through the center to determine how big the next window is. Make sense? So the next window is going to end. I'm going to use a square, not just a random straight edge. Oh man, it's a mess. Things are everywhere. Sorry, I don't have a very big space to work in. So you'll just have to live with my wackiness here. All right, there's your second window. Same thing here. You're going to go from the top through the center to find the height of the next window. So top through the intersection of this vertical and the center line. Whoops, not lined up very well. And this will all make sense. You might have to watch this a couple times to see what I'm talking about. Okay, so notice each window is getting slightly smaller as it goes back in space. I'm going to stop here with just the 3 windows because I want some space of my wall to show, just like there's a chunk of wall over here that you can't see. All right, so what I've done here is I have made 3 windows, and they're on the inside. So basically, you're not going to see any of that craziness. Those are the windows that are represented here. You can see it slightly differently here because my eye level is lower than my drawing here. So I can see this, whoops, you can see this window or this wall up above the window, which you can't see here because our eye level is slightly higher. But hopefully this video makes sense.